Gather round, everyone, and let me ask you a question. Have you ever wished for a magical shortcut to success? A secret button you could press and have everything you've ever wanted. Today, we're diving into a story that explores just that, a timeless tale about a hunter, a talking drum, and the true magic hidden in plain sight. This is the story of Deba, the lazy hunter. In a village nestled by a winding river lived a hunter named Deba. Now, Deba wasn't like the other hunters. While they rose with the sun, sharpening their spears and checking their traps, Deba's favorite companion was his sleeping mat. The morning birds would sing their songs, the sun would climb high into the sky, but Deba would only stir when the sharp pangs of hunger finally became too loud to ignore. He believed in doing the bare minimum, hunting just enough for one meal before returning to his peaceful slumber. To him, work was a chore, not a calling. One particularly warm afternoon, after a less than successful hunt that yielded only a few berries, Deba wandered aimlessly along the riverbank, grumbling to himself. The sun shimmered on the water, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the ancient baobab trees. It was then that he saw it. Half hidden in the reeds near the water's edge was something peculiar. It was a drum, beautifully crafted from dark, polished wood and stretched with a smooth, taut hide. It seemed to hum with a strange energy, almost as if it were alive. Curiosity got the better of Deba. He cautiously approached the drum, running his fingers over its intricate carvings. He'd never seen one quite like it. As he leaned closer, a soft, clear voice spoke, seemingly from the drum itself. "Play me," it whispered, the sound like the rustling of dry leaves. Deba jumped back, his eyes wide. He looked around, thinking someone was playing a trick on him, but there was no one. The river flowed peacefully, and the birds chirped in the distance. He stared at the drum, his heart pounding. Was he imagining things? The voice came again, a little more insistent this time. "Play me, and I will give you food, food." That one word echoed in Deba's mind. His stomach rumbled in agreement. A talking drum that offered food seemed too good to be true, a dream born from his hunger. Shaking his head in disbelief, but unable to resist the temptation, Deba let out a skeptical laugh. With a shrug, he thought, "What have I got to lose?" He picked up a fallen branch, sat down, and began to tap a simple rhythm on the drum's surface. The moment the branch touched the hide, the air itself seemed to change. The simple beat transformed into a wondrous melody that danced through the clearing, and then the impossible happened. Right before Deba's astonished eyes, a grand feast materialized out of thin air. There was succulent roasted meat, still sizzling and steaming. Piles of vibrant, juicy fruits, mangoes, papayas, and sweet bananas appeared beside bowls of golden, glistening honey. The aroma was intoxicating, a scent of pure abundance. Deba couldn't believe his luck. He dropped the branch and immediately began to eat, stuffing his face with more food than he had seen in weeks. It was the most delicious meal of his life, and he hadn't lifted a finger to hunt or gather it. This was it. This was the life he had always dreamed of. No more waking up early, no more tracking animals for hours, no more effort. Just a simple beat on a magical drum. For many days that followed, Deba lived in a state of blissful ease. Whenever hunger struck, he would simply sit by the river, tap out a rhythm on his magical drum, and a perfect meal would appear. He grew plump and content. His spears gathered dust in a corner of his hut, and his knowledge of the forest's paths began to fade from his memory. He had everything he needed, served to him on a platter of pure magic. The villagers noticed the change. They saw Deba, once lean and perpetually tired, now looking well-fed and relaxed, yet they never saw him go into the forest to hunt. They whispered among themselves, wondering about his secret. But as the days turned into weeks, a subtle change began to creep into Deba's heart. Contentment slowly curdled into something else, something darker, greed. The simple meals that once filled him with joy no longer seemed enough. He started to look at the other villagers, at the fine fabrics the weaver made, at the sturdy pots the potter crafted, at the chief's ceremonial beads. Why should he only have food when the drum could clearly provide so much more? The magic that had been a gift now felt like a tool he was using to its full potential. One evening, fueled by this newfound desire, Deba went to the drum with a different look in his eyes. He no longer played with a light, grateful heart. He beat the drum hard and fast, his rhythm demanding and impatient. "I want more," he shouted at the drum. "Food is not enough. Give me gold. Give me fine clothes. Give me jewels fit for a king." He played louder and louder, a frantic, dissonant noise that echoed unnaturally through the quiet twilight. He envisioned himself draped in riches, never having to worry about anything ever again. But this time, there was no magical feast. There was no glimmer of gold or rustle of fine silk. The drum, which had sung so beautifully for him before, fell silent. The air grew still. Confused and angry, Dita struck the drum again, even harder this time. Thud, thud, thud. It was just the dull, empty sound of wood and hide. The magic was gone. Then the voice returned, but it was no longer a gentle whisper. It was filled with a deep, profound sadness. "You were given enough," the drum said, its voice heavy with disappointment. "You were given a gift to ease your hunger, a reward for a simple song, but you forgot to be grateful. You forgot the joy of the gift and only saw what more you could take." The drum's words hung in the air, heavy and true. "Your greed has silenced my music. The magic has faded," and just like that, the voice was gone for good. Deba sat there for a long time, staring at the now ordinary, silent drum. The truth of the drum's words washed over him like a cold river current. He had been given a miracle, a release from his daily toil, and he had squandered it. He had demanded more, and in his insatiable greed, he had lost everything. The easy life he had cherished was over. The next morning, for the first time in a very long time, Deba woke with the sun. His stomach was empty, and there was no magic drum to fill it. He picked up his old, dusty spear, its weight feeling unfamiliar in his hands. He walked out of his hut and into the forest. The path was harder to follow, the animal tracks harder to read. That day, he worked harder than he had in his entire life. He tracked a small antelope for hours, his muscles aching, his brow slick with sweat. When he finally made the catch and prepared his meal over a fire he built with his own two hands, the food tasted different. It wasn't as magically delicious as the drum's feast, but it was satisfying in a way he had forgotten. It was the taste of effort, of perseverance, of accomplishment. It was the taste of his own hard work. From that day on, Deba became the most diligent hunter in the village. He rose before the sun, worked tirelessly, and always shared his bounty with others. He never complained about work again because he understood its true value. And every now and then, when he would pass a celebration in the village and see someone playing a drum, he would pause. He would listen to the rhythm, and he would remember the talking drum by the river. It served as a constant reminder that gifts can be lost and that shortcuts are fleeting, but the rewards you earn with your own hands, the satisfaction you feel from a day of honest effort, that is the true enduring magic of life. Thank you so much for joining me for this story today. If it resonated with you, I'd love it if you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tales that make us think. Until next time, take care and keep seeking the magic in your own hard work.